My neighbor Harold stopped calling his son in October. Just stopped. No birthday call, no how are you doing, nothing. By Thanksgiving, his son drove 4 hours to check on him. Harold just smiled and said, "I knew you'd come." That moment changed how I think about everything. I'm 77 years old, and I want to talk to you man to man today, the way we used to talk, sitting on a porch, being honest with each other. Because somewhere along the way, a lot of us got handed a role we never asked for. The role of the parent who waits, who calls, who sends the "just checking in" text on Sunday afternoon, who pretends not to notice when the holidays go by without a visit. And here's what nobody tells you. The more you chase, the further they drift. I know that stings. It stung me too when I first really sat with it. I have 3 children. One lives 40 minutes away. For about 2 years, I saw him maybe 4 times. I called every Sunday, I left voicemails, I sent articles I thought he'd like. I was, by every measure, a good father doing all the right things. And still, nothing much changed. So I want to share with you today what I finally figured out. Not some trick, not a manipulation, but a shift in how you carry yourself. One that actually works. And I promise you, if you stick with me through this whole video, what I share at the 70% mark is going to surprise you. It surprised me. Stay with me here, because in a few minutes, I'm going to tell you about something called the gravity mistake. And once you see it, you'll understand why everything you've been doing may be working against you. But first, I need to lay some ground underneath this. When my wife was still alive, she used to say, "Robert, you can't pull a plant toward you to make it grow. You have to give it something worth growing toward." She was talking about her tomatoes, but she was right about children too. Here's something that might be uncomfortable to hear. When adult children feel obligated to call, to visit, to check in, they start to associate you with guilt, not love. Guilt. And guilt is exhausting. People avoid what exhausts them. Think about it from their side for a moment. They've got jobs, kids, mortgages, their own worries. When they see your name on the phone on Sunday, if the first thought that flashes through their mind is, "I haven't called enough," that's a problem. Because now every interaction starts with a deficit. They're behind before they even say hello. My friend Dale, he's 74, lives in Arizona. He told me he called his daughter every 3 days like clockwork. Every 3 days, for years. One day she finally said, "Dad, I love you, but I feel like I'm being managed." Managed? That word hit him hard. He wasn't trying to manage her. He was scared of losing her. But to her, all those calls felt like a leash. Now here's where it gets interesting and a little counterintuitive, because the answer isn't to withdraw out of spite or to punish them or to play games. The answer is something much more powerful than that. I call it becoming someone worth missing, and I'll get there. But first, let me tell you about the gravity mistake. The gravity mistake is this. We think that love is about staying close, about constant contact, about being present in every inbox and every voicemail box. But real gravity, the kind that pulls people toward you, doesn't work that way. The sun doesn't chase the planets. It just exists with so much presence, so much energy, that everything orbits around it naturally. When we over-pursue our children, we flip this. We become the planet chasing them, and they naturally drift, because that's what happens when something keeps pushing at you. You lean away. I watched this happen with my own father. He was a quiet man, a farmer. Didn't call much, didn't demand much. But my God, when we went home to visit him, there was always something happening, something good to eat, a project in the barn he'd want your opinion on, a story he'd been sitting on. You walked away from his house feeling filled up.
I didn't understand until I was in my 60s why I always wanted to visit him. It was because visiting him gave me something. It wasn't just duty, it was nourishment. That's what I had to rebuild in myself.
Here it is, the thing I wish someone had told me at 60. Stop making yourself available for every conversation. Stop filling every silence with a phone call. Stop treating your children's absence like an emergency that only more contact can fix. And instead, build a life so genuinely interesting that there's always something new when they do show up. I know that sounds almost harsh, but listen to what happened with my son. About 2 years ago, I joined a woodworking class at the community center. Not because I was lonely, I actually enjoyed my own company, but I'd always wanted to learn. I started making things, small boxes at first, then a shelf, then a rocking chair. I stopped calling every Sunday. I called maybe twice a month, and when I did call, I had something to say. I'm working on this chair and I can't figure out the joint. What do you think? Or, I read something this week that made me think of you. Within 6 months, my son started calling me. Not every week, but enough. And when he visited, which he now does 3 or 4 times a year, he'd walk into the garage and want to see what I was working on. He'd stay an extra hour just looking at things, asking questions. I hadn't changed who I was. I'd changed what I was pointing at. You see, the cruel trick in this video's title isn't cruel at all. It just looks that way from the outside. Because stopping the chasing, pulling back the constant contact, it can feel like giving up, like coldness. But what you're really doing is creating space. And nature, relationships, people, they all rush to fill a genuine space. When Harold stopped calling his son, he didn't do it out of manipulation. He did it because he finally accepted that he couldn't force connection. And in that acceptance, something shifted. His son felt the change and got curious. Got a little worried, yes, but also curious, because Harold had become someone whose silence meant something. Your children need to wonder about you sometimes. Not worry, wonder. There's a difference. Worry is Dad okay? Wonder is, what is Dad up to lately? Get them wondering. So, what does this actually look like day to day? First, pick up one thing that's just for you, not for them, not to have a story to tell, something you actually want. A class, a project, a club, a trip you've always postponed, whatever it is. Second, reduce your contact by half for 30 days. I'm not saying disappear, I'm saying create some breathing room. If you call every week, call every 2 weeks. If you text every day, text every 3 days. And when you do reach out, make it interesting. Make it a real share, not a check-in. Third, when you talk to them, ask less when are you coming and more what are you working on. Show genuine curiosity about their world. People go where they feel seen. And fourth, let yourself be a little mysterious. Not fake mysterious, just don't explain everything. Don't justify everything. My son once asked me why I hadn't called in a few weeks, and I said, I've been busy. Just that. He asked what I'd been busy with. That started the best conversation we had in years. And here's the thing I want to leave you with before we wrap up, something that took me a long time to understand, and it has to do with what you're really teaching them when you do all of this. Here is the one thing I want you to do today. Write down 3 things you've always wanted to try or do, but set aside because you were too busy or it didn't feel practical. Just 3. Could be learning guitar, could be fishing on a lake you've never been to, could be finally taking that trip to see the Grand Canyon, could be learning to cook one dish really well. Pick the easiest one. Sign up for it, plan it, or start it this week. Not for your kids, for you. Because here's what I learned. The most attractive thing a parent can be to their adult children is not available, it's alive. Fully, genuinely, interestingly alive. When they sense that you are living, not waiting, they want to be part of it.
Harold's son drove 4 hours on Thanksgiving, not because Harold guilted him, because Harold had quietly become someone worth showing up for. You can do the same. I want to hear from you, and I mean that genuinely, not just as a way to end the video. Has there been a moment when pulling back actually brought someone closer? Or maybe you're still in the thick of it, still waiting for that knock on the door. Leave it in the comments. I read every single one. And some of you have shared things that have genuinely changed how I think. Next time, I want to talk about something that not many people are willing to say out loud. What to do when you realize you may have made mistakes as a parent and whether it's too late to repair them. That one might be difficult, but I think it needs to be said. I'll see you then.